Okay, so if you want to learn the correct position to sleep in at night to look after your spine and get a good night's sleep, this video is for you. So obviously there's some key things we want to get right with sleep, and we can't cover them all in this video. So we need to go to bed at the same time, we need to wake up at the same time, we want to avoid blue light in our eyes at night time before bed, especially screens, things like that. We also need to get sunlight in our eyes in the morning. There's a lot to that, we're not going to cover that in this video. What we're talking about here is what's correct sleeping from a structural position for most people. There are exceptions to this, and it won't fit everybody, but as I say, for the majority of people, this will be correct. Now, typically with sleeping, there's three ways we can sleep: front, side, and back. So we typically don't want to sleep on our stomach. It's not a good way to do it. There are exceptions for this. Some people who are hypermobile have problems with their spine. It might be the only way they can sleep. So we don't want to give those people a hard time. But typically for most of us, we want to try and get out of that position if we can. Now, most people I find will sleep on their side. So side sleeping is quite simple. The biggest problem most people will find is that they will have their pillow too low. Now, in my opinion, the mattress doesn't matter too much. As long as your mattress is firm enough, we're going to be fine. It's about the pillow height. If we get the pillow height right, we'll keep the pressure out of the neck, mid-back, and lower back all night, and we'll sleep better as well. So, what I like to do with this now, as an experiment to find the right height for you, and the height does need to be right within quite a small margin for this to work and for you to be able to sleep. So what we do, first of all, I would start with some towels. So I would get 5 or 6 towels, depending on how big of a person you are. Get these towels and we're going to fold them. So we're just going to concertina the towel like this. Okay, and then we fold it in half. Now I've got a bunch of towels stacked up here, all right? Then what we do is we lie down on our side and we want to start too high, okay? So this is definitely too high for me. It's not that far off actually, so you can see how high this is. Now most people are going to have nowhere near this much height with their pillow. I think the person who designed pillows was evil because 1 is too low and two can be too much for a lot of people. Anyway, so this is too high. Now, the way I know it's too high, one, it's uncomfortable. The other thing is I'm actually rolling backwards here. Okay, so if you're rolling backwards, that's typically a sign it's too high, and also I can feel it in my neck. So what I'm going to do is you would come down and you take some towel away, right? Take a little bit off. Try again. No, I'm still rolling backwards. That's not quite right, still uncomfortable. Let's take a bit more off. Okay, take a bit more. And you would continue going down until you found the point where 1, you were comfortable, but 2, you actually felt balanced. So you didn't feel like you were rolling forwards and you didn't feel like you were rolling backwards. And strangely enough for me, no, I'm going backwards slightly. So I'm going to take a little bit more out of here. Right. Still going backwards, take a little bit more out. And you get the idea. Now, you want to do this experiment and find the height that's right for you. Now, for me, it's still too high. Now, I actually cheated before and I found that this was pretty good for me. So this is actually my height here. You fiddle with that and get it right for you. Now, I actually don't feel like I'm rolling. If you go too low, you'll feel like you're rolling forwards. So I don't feel like I'm doing that. Typically, most people have their pillows too low, and what happens is they end up wanting to put an arm under a pillow or a pillow between their knees. So that's a sign that your pillow's too low, which will be the problem for most people. Now, once you've got this height right, some people sleep on the towels, and look, you can do that if you want. I've had people who take them up, stick them in a pillowcase, and leave it on their bed, right? So that's one option. It's a bit hard, the towels for most people. So another option you can do, you can actually buy, and I'll leave you the link for this, these adjustable pillows. Now, this comes with, you can buy this on the Adka website, and there's a bunch of inserts here, right? Now, this is here. It starts like this now. Funnily enough, that's actually pretty close to me. And what you can do, you can take these inserts out, okay, and you can adjust and find the right height for you using the same process we did before. Now, if you don't want to buy a pillow, you don't have to buy a pillow. You can actually use a hybrid of these two approaches. And what that looks like is we get a bunch of towels like we had before. We put them here and we put our pillow on top. Now, you can get a smaller pillow than this. You can use one you've got at home. And you do the same thing, right? So you lie there and you go, oh, that's a bit high, that's a bit low, whatever. Let's say that was a bit high. Then what I would do is I would take out some of these and I would try again and I would find the height that works for me. Okay, so that's how you sleep on your side if you want to get it right. These are actually remarkably comfortable and well worth getting. The other option is if you sleep on your back. The other thing we want to do with that, sleeping on your back. Now, if you have a big kyphosis and you're stuck forwards this way, this won't work for you. You need some work done, or you might need more height behind. For most people, what we want to find is we want almost nothing behind them. Okay, so a very, very thin pillow will do it. So typically, you know, for me, I find having a couple of these is about right for sleeping on your back. So if I lie on my back like this, you know, that's good. You should be able to sleep like that. And that will work for most people. Some people can even go lower, or if you want, you can roll up a little bit of towel and you can just pop it under your neck there. Don't overdo that. We don't want to push our neck into extension like this, but that works well for most people. But I find most people typically sleep on their side. All right, so with regards to sleeping for the right position for you, give that a shot. Let me know how you go, and good luck.